heaven. Michael and his angels going forth to war with the dragon. And the dragon warred in his angels, and they prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast down, the old serpent, the one called the devil, and the Satan, he that deceiveth the whole inhabited world. He was cast down to the earth, and his angels with him were cast down.
You're talking about? And I pulled out my gemstones and I showed them to her. I said, this one do this, this one do this, this one do this. I said, I'm covered. She says, no, you're not. She says, I can tell you're not. She says, how about some real protection? And she says, okay, what do you got? I'm open to anything, you know. Open minds. Careful with that open mind thing. Sometimes you can be too open. But I said, I'm open. Well, she breaks out a Bible and hands it to me, and she says, it's in here. And I said, no, 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 no. I says, that book's got nothing to do with the work that I do. She says, I think it does. And I said, no, it doesn't. And I pushed it away. And she says, well, let me ask you, as somebody who you've told you are the most open-minded, objective researcher there is, to take a look at this. Well, I'd been busted. I said, okay, I'll put up with this. Show me what you got. She showed me something that I remember hearing as a child, growing up in a Christian home. But as a teenager during the Vietnam War, I turned it away. I turned away from it. Why did I turn away from being raised from the way I was raised in the church? Because I happened to hear somebody tell me at the age of 17, scared to death that my draft card number was going to be pulled and have to go to some deadly place in far-off Southeast Asia. And I didn't want to be part of it. I heard somebody tell me, well, you know, this is for God and country. I said, you know what? I've heard my president say that I should be part of this, but I didn't hear God tell me I needed to be part of this war. I walked away from my relationship with the church when I heard that. And I went off and did all the other things that probably some of you guys have done that we wish we hadn't. But they were learning experiences. She shared with me these key phrases in this book, these key scriptures. And for the first time, even though I probably heard it 1,000 times, something out of that book struck home to truth. It showed me that there was a true protection to dealing in experiences like this. And I said, I want that protection. It sounds better than what I got here. And she showed me how to get that protection. November of 1996, I became a believer in Jesus Christ. It's like the blinders came off my eyes, the earplugs came out of my ears, and I saw truth. Well, I'm still a UFO investigator. And I'm still an inquisitive person. I got to know, oh, what the heck is a Christian? Show me what a Christian is. I'm agreeing to what you're showing me, but now, if I'm called a Christian, what's a Christian? And I want to hurry real fast. Tell me what it is. I don't want to take 50 years of sitting in Sunday school to learn it. I want to know now. Give it all to me. Well, it happened to be that another one of my my investigators was also a Christian, helping me chase UFOs and abductions. And he says, got this buddy with this powerful Bible study course. It's very powerful, very fast. 2 weeks we can have it done. It's very intense. You learn more than you can learn in 50 years. That's what I want. I had 2 weeks off from the boat company that I work with at Christmas time. We sat watching VHS tapes. Oh, now I'm really showing how old I am. VHS tapes, 2 hours every night. About a week into it, took us 2 weeks to watch them all. Every night we're at this guy's house watching another video, another video, another video, another video on this Bible study course. I'm learning stuff that I was like, wow. Got to this one video, and the guy doing the teaching brought this term up called spiritual warfare. I went, now that sounds cool. What's spiritual warfare? Well, he got in there, and he started talking about it, and he says this one verse. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against spiritual wickedness in the heavenly realm. That's powerful stuff. I'm sitting on the guy's couch watching this being said on a video. In an instant, I've got an alien gray staring me in the face. Right there. While I'm sitting on this couch, I've got an alien gray in this vision in front of my face. And I'm going, oh my. And then in an instant, it morphs into the most horrific thing I had ever seen in my life. And I said, stop that video. And they're like, what? And I said, I got to tell you guys what I just saw. And they're like, that's incredible. What does that mean? And I said, I think I've just been shown who these entities are. Can't prove it. And I said, you know what? We don't belong in this field. We don't need to be part of this research. I'm done. Scared the hell out of me. I said, I'm done with this. They agreed. Okay, we're in agreement with you. It's not what it seems. Can't prove it, but it's not what it seems. I'm a brand new believer in Christ. I don't know anything about what I'm supposed to know. A couple of weeks went by, and I get this small, still voice and says, you got work to do. And I'm going, no, I'm done with this field. And he said, no, you got work to do. I said, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. It's bad stuff. Then I hear, I want you to take the truth back to where you came from. Like I said, I'm a new Christian. I said, God, if this is you telling me this, I says, this ain't going to work. I says, I can't take the Bible back to people in the New Age and the metaphysical realm. They don't believe the Bible to be the inerrant word of the Creator God. They believe it to be good stuff written by a bunch of old men. Who knows what they were doing back then, you know. Good book to live by, but that's about it. Good morals in it, but so does a bunch of other books that are out there. That's the way they believe. It's the way I believed. I thought, you know, that I just took care of that. I don't have to deal with that anymore. I said, he said, no, you need to take this truth back. I said, no, you got to give me something better because this ain't going to work. I said, that took care of him. A couple of weeks go by. Here's that small, still voice again. You already got what it takes to share the truth. I said, you got to show me because I'm not getting it. Go back and look at your cases. I pulled my partner aside, Wes at the time, that helped me form CE4. I said, Wes, we need to go back and look at these cases. We're missing something. We went back and pulled this case out. Remember the one I told you about? The great guy was seeing the gray fog and fell asleep. The dogs were barking and felt like he was held up, you know, by a pole, shoved up his rectum in sheer panic. It was his case. We had sat for 2 hours, recorded a 2-hour videotape, sitting in his living room, camera set up. We're sitting on the couch, interviewing him, having him telling us 2 hours worth of his stories. We didn't hear a word he said. Didn't hear a word he said. Didn't catch anything he was saying. Yet here we are, investigators, trained at this. We plugged that videotape in and watched what he was saying, and it was like, do you remember this? Wes says, I don't remember it. But yet we were sitting right there recording it 6 months prior to this time we just plugged it in to watch it again. So that means it was prior to me becoming a Christian. You know what he says on this videotape? That particular instance that he was talking about right there that I shared with you, he called out This guy happened to be a new Christian himself. During the experience, while he's held up in the air with his pole shoved and he's in sheer panic, he cries out, "Jesus, Jesus, help me." And he is immediately dropped back in the bed and wakes up from the experience. We never heard a word he said, but yet we were there recording it. When I saw that on that video, I thought, oh my. If this is real, this I can take back. Because every researcher that we had talked to and all the research we had read said it was impossible to stop an alien abduction experience. It had never been done. Did I have something real here? I needed to know. I'm too new a Christian to even trust God. So I get on the phone and I start calling the top abduction researchers around the country. They're nice guys, just like me. Some of you have talked to them personally. They're nice people. I said, guys, I got an interesting case here. I don't know what to make of it. They said, well, share it with us. I did. Told them the story. I said, have you ever come across anything like this? Can we go off the record? They all said this. I said, sure, we can go off the record. That means I can tell you what they said, but I can't tell you who said it. Every one of them said, we've had cases like that. And I said, well, why haven't you shared this information? You say that it can't even be stopped, but yet now you're saying they can be stopped, and you've come across people that have stopped it like this. Why haven't you shared this information? We're relying on you for the truth. And they said, well, we really didn't know what to make of that. And I said, really? I said, I would have been fine with that answer, but it was usually followed by another answer. We really didn't want to go there because it might affect our credibility in the realm. You know, all through this realm, you hear cover up, cover up, cover up, cover up, cover up. Government this, government that. Government's covering up. How many times you guys have heard this, right? I just gave you a cover-up. And that cover-up is not by the government. It's by the leading researchers that you have been relying on for the truth all these years. Can I prove it? I hold confidentiality. I will never share their names. I learned that in MUFON. You come to me and you want to share your story, but you don't want your name out there, I will respect it to the death. I'll never share who that was. So I knew that I had to go and get this evidence myself. Because I knew it was there. They just told me. In 13 years, since becoming a believer, I have worked with over 400 cases. If you go to my website at ce4research.com, we've got, I think, 94 up there now that they publicly allowed me to post. They're in written form and they're also in recorded audio form. You can hear the people themselves that can testify that they too, using the name and authority of Jesus Christ, has stopped this experience, not only while it was happening, but they've terminated it from happening in their life. This is a piece of the puzzle, of the UFO puzzle. This whole UFO phenomenon is just a big puzzle. There's researchers out there with each of their own piece. They all need to take those pieces and put them on the table to see what the picture is going to look like. Throughout the years, my particular piece of this puzzle is unwanted. I actually did the talk at the 60th anniversary here for Roswell for the city. The unwanted piece of the UFO puzzle. I've earned the title since 2008 when I shared this talk. I can say I'm probably the most hated man in the UFO realm. They don't want this piece of the puzzle. Is this starting to come together after hearing guys talk? This is evidence that these entities are not who they say they are because of the way they respond to that name. Why would aliens respond like that? They don't. Guy showed us that they preach a new message. They're evangelizing a new gospel that we are warned about to not follow. There are so many different religions in this world, but they only come here to preach against one. Why is that? When all of the other ones don't even agree with each other except in one thing. You know what that one thing is that all the other religions agree with on? They're anti-Christ. They're only here to preach against one religion, and that's one that professes Christ. And here, this same Christ, this same name, puts these entities in their place.